Amara Johnson was the quiet black girl everyone underestimated. At Dunar High, whispers followed her. Too serious, too proud, too different. Kyle Wickham and his crew ruled the halls with arrogance, mocking anyone who didn't fit their narrow mold. To them, Amara was an easy target, the kind who wouldn't fight back. And when an egg smashed against her head in front of everyone, they thought they'd won. What they didn't know was that beneath her calm exterior lay years of training, focus, and power. Amara Johnson wasn't just quiet, she was a karate black belt. And that day, Silence learned how to fight back. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Through the bustling hallways of Dunar High, Amara Johnson moved like a shadow, her backpack snug against her shoulders, and her steps measured and deliberate. The morning sun streamed through the windows, casting long rectangles of light across the freshly waxed floors. She kept her eyes forward, her face a mask of calm despite the whispers that followed her like persistent echoes. "Look at Miss Perfect," a voice hissed from a cluster of girls near the lockers, always acting so proper. Amara adjusted the strap of her backpack, maintaining her steady pace. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind. "Walk like you own the ground beneath your feet." So she did, even as the whispers grew louder. In AP Chemistry, Mrs. Reynolds called on her to answer a complex equation. Amara's response was quick and precise, earning a few eye rolls from her classmates. "My, aren't you strong-willed today?" Mrs. Reynolds remarked, her tone carrying that familiar edge that Amara had learned to recognize. It wasn't quite criticism, but it wasn't praise either. Just another way of saying she was too much. During third period, Kyle Wickham and his friends took their usual seats behind her in English class. She could feel their presence, heavy with intention, before the first spitball hit her chair. "Oops," Kyle whispered loud enough for those nearby to hear. "My bad. Guess I'm just clumsy around certain people." His friend snickered, and Amara kept her eyes on her copy of Their Eyes Were Watching God, her finger tracing the words as if they could shield her from what was happening. The teacher, Mr. Bennett, glanced up briefly before returning to his laptop, his silence speaking volumes. Lunchtime brought no relief. Amara sat at her usual table, unpacking the lunch her grandmother had prepared. Cornbread and honey, just the way she liked it. Kyle and his group passed by, deliberately bumping her table. "Watch it!" Chase Whittam called out with fake concern. "Table's unstable, kind of like some people we know." Coach Wickham stood nearby, monitoring the cafeteria. His laugh carried across the room as he watched his son's antics. "Boys will be boys," he said to another teacher, loud enough for Amara to hear.